So glued IOL was invented at 2007 by Dr. Amar Agrawal. Chariot was the one who brought out the haptic. Dr. Amar sir has created flaps and brought out the haptics under the flaps. So this is a basic video on describing about the steps of the glued IOL. First is the making of the flaps, which has to be 180-degree apart. If you're not 180-degree apart, then the procedure will have all tilt and other procedures. So make sure your first two flaps are 180-degree apart. A 2.5 mm scleral flap is created slowly with a partial thickness. So I'm just measuring and showing it to you. This is first for beginners, it is very important. Make a 2.5 mm flap on either sides. Mark it with a radial marker or an Ashwin's markers. And then you can either use a posterior infusion, or you can use an anterior chamber maintainer or a AC trocar maintainer, whatever the anterior segment surgeon is comfortable with. I prefer using a posterior chamber maintainer. Then we go ahead with the sclerotomy procedure. So this is the sclerotomy procedure which is being done. This is about 1 millimeter from the limbus. The direction of the needle is very important. Make sure the needle goes more posterior, and make sure your infusion is on before you do the sclerotomy, or else you might strip off the choroid. So when the eyeball is tight, the sclerotomy comes out in a correct way. 2 incisions are made, one side port for the manipulation of the haptic, and this is the main port incision. You can slightly extend the incision for maneuverability of the IOL. A thorough anterior vitrectomy is done, and you can see the haptic, the IOL. The MST forceps is injected to the sclerotomy. The tip of the haptic is caught with the MST forceps slowly. I'm again mentioning, catch hold of the tip of the haptic slowly and slowly inject the IOL. Make sure the tip is firmly held. Bring out the second haptic outside. Catch the flap. Slowly bring the haptic outside. Make your assistant catch the haptic in case it is a beginner, or you can use a tag. The second haptic is slowly bent inside. The MST forceps is passed through the sclerotomy of the other side. Again, the tip of the haptic is held. Bend the forceps down and then slowly bring the haptic outside. After making sure the haptic has come outside and sufficient length is on either side, then you can leave the haptics and adjust for the centration. If the IOL is decentered on one side, you can always adjust the haptic on the other side so that the centration of the IOL is made sure. This centration is much important to avoid astigmatism and other things. The sclerotomy, you have to do a complete vitrectomy before you tuck it. For tucking, you use a 26 gauge needle. This is a 26 gauge needle. A tunnel is created. We call it as Chariot's tunnel. You hold the haptic with the McPherson's. See, the way you hold is important. Make sure the haptic is held parallel to the tunnel. Slowly recede it back and push it into the tunnel. The second haptic is also receded in the same way. After making sure the IOL is centered, then you seal the flaps with the glue. Make sure your vitreous is not there in the sclerotomy port and the glue is upright and the scleral flaps are sealed. So this is a basic video explaining the glued IOL concept. Next, we move on to a second video where I will be showing different scenarios of the glued IOLs. So what are the indications of the glued IOL? See, I heard many scleral fixation IOLs. This video is a case of Marfan syndrome, as you see. The disadvantages, the complications which can arise in glued IOLs, or the toughest procedures done are eyes with big eyes. In big eyes, in glued IOL technique, we have difficulty. What is the difficulty? The amount of haptic which is externalized becomes very less. Whereas in Yamane technique, the amount of haptic is more. Here it becomes less. So what happens here is, you do a vertical glued IOL. Normally, the vertical diameter of a cornea is less when compared to the horizontal diameter. So you get an increased amount of haptic which can be tucked. So this is an animation video showing you the amount of haptic which is externalized in a horizontal IOL. Whereas in a vertical glued IOL, you can always see the amount which is more, and the tucking can be more easy and it is more stable when compared to other. So this is, again, I repeat, this is the basic of vertical glued IOL. The second important step in a glued IOL in large eyes is, you come and make an anterior sclerotomy. Normally, if you do 1.5, you come more anteriorly 1 mm. In case you are more anterior, you might hit the iris and the iris might get damaged. So such cases, we do a peripheral iridectomy nearing the sclerotomy site so that the iris doesn't get damaged. So the 3 tips in very large eyes is, one is you do the anterior sclerotomy, you do this. This is the leading haptic which is being grasped and slowly brought out. So again, I repeat, 3 important steps in big IOLs is you do a vertical glued IOL, you come anteriorly for the sclerotomy, and in case you hit the iris, you can do a peripheral iridectomy so that you don't damage the iris. So this is the trailing haptic which is being slowly localized outside in a case of vertical glued IOL. And one important clue in tucking is always match the tunnel, the Charriot's tunnel, to the angle of the haptic which is externalized. Somewhere along the haptic angulation, you can create the tunnel. So this is the actual video following the animation. One clue which I would give here is, if you observe closely this video, there is a C sign which is coming. See, as the IOL is slowly injected, you can see a C sign in the haptic. When you get a C sign in the haptic, you can be sure that the IOL is not going to rotate or tilt. You're holding the IOL and the IOL insertion plane are correct. So observe for the C sign when you slowly inject the IOL into the eye. After making sure you take off the injector, you grip the haptic outside and you come out slowly. Similar way, the second technique which I wanted to tell you for bringing the second haptic is, you can use the handshake technique. In the first video, I showed you the same through the same tunnel. Here I am showing you the handshake technique. You bring the haptic inside, you catch at a considerable distance, leave enough haptic for you to hold for the second MST forceps, which is coming through the second sclerotomy wound. You can see the tip of the haptic being hold, and it is slowly being externalized outside. So one important advantage in this, even if the tip of the haptic breaks, you can always center the IOL by adjusting the tucking. Suppose the tip of the haptic breaks on one side or the IOL is not centered, you can release the haptic tucking on one side and increase the haptic tucking on the other, so that on table with the Purkinje images, you can make sure that the IOL is perfectly centered. The next important clue is, form an air bubble after you remove the infusion. Put an air bubble and then you remove your infusion. Make sure there is no hypotony while you are closing up the wound. This is the post-op picture, and this is one of the biggest advantage of glued IOL. The pseudophacodenesis study which has been compared is very minimal when compared to the sutured IOLs and other forms of secondary IOLs. This is the second important advantage. In case of scenarios where there is no iris, what will we do? We can do a sutured IOL, or we can handle the same anaridic IOL through a glued fashion, bring it outside and close it up. The third most important advantage of glued IOL is, in case of nucleus fragments or anything, you can always pass the IOL as a scaffolding segment. You can either pass the IOL over the iris plane and keep it. Since this is a colobomatous eye, I completed the glued IOL portion above below the nuclear pieces. Now I have enough space. It is divided into 2 chambers. So I am very sure that the nucleus will not drop back into the vitreous cavity, and I finish it off. These are the few advantages of glued IOL techniques when compared to other technique. And I would like to show you a very complicated scenario. What will be done for such a case? So this is one of my interesting case, which I always put it across in all.
None of the producers have any financial interest in the products or procedures shown.
So this is one of the interesting videos. This is a 70-year-old man who presented to us after a long trauma. The nucleus is dangling. The iris is totally gone. Which technique or what is the type which we can use here? So in this scenario, what can be done? The nucleus has to come out. The iris is half attached and half it is detached. So the plan for this is go for a glued IOL and complete with a pupilloplasty. So this, I use my normal glued IOL technique. In this case, I wanted to do a big incision so that I don't get trouble inside the nucleus. So I create a sclerocorneal or a SICS tunnel. And I put an infusion cannula because I wanted to know anything is in the posterior, what is happening in the posterior. I just make a side hook. I don't want this iris to come and engage in any of the procedures, so that I don't induce more iridodialysis there apart from the damage caused. So after making the sclerotomy, I go ahead with the vitrectomy. I see the nucleus is still attached somewhere. So I extend my tunnel. I just pass the vectors with a sandwich technique. I just remove the nucleus out after a complete vitrectomy. So you can see the nucleus being slowly grabbed outside. The remnants of the back, you can see it's being attached at one plane. I complete the vitrectomy. Then now I have a big tunnel. So the gluediol part becomes easy. After checking the posterior fragment, whether there is any elements, I go ahead with the glue technique. You can see how fast the technique happens. You just have to get the second haptic outside, center it, tuck the haptic, and then suture it up. So you can see the sutures being applied for the tunnel which I created. And then I go ahead with the normal tunnel. So if you see the tunnel, one important tip is you have to use your left hand while tucking the second haptic. If you're not very familiar with your left hand, you should use your right hand in the opposite way. Now I assess the iris fragments. How much is the iris which I can suture it up? So this needs multiple, actually this needs multiple anchoring. I think at least 3 sutures are needed to anchor this iris back to bring it back to normal. So first I anchor it through the pupilloplasty technique. You can see the 10-0 pupilloplasty being needle being passed. You can bring it under a tunnel or bring it straight. So here I have brought it under straight, and you see the second needle which is being brought outside. So to explain it, you bring both the needles, anchor the iris first, cut off the needles, you make 4 throws and you suture it up. The second anchoring is under the SICS tunnel. So I pass a long suture there under the lip of inner lip, and then I anchor it to the lip. The second part again, third anchoring, I do it under the flap. I pass the needle, but one thing there, you can see some atrophy of the iris, which is noted. So the second needle I pass it, when I anchor it, I see some amount of retraction of the iris. If you see, there is some amount of retraction of the iris there. So this suture gets buried under the gluediol flap. And to complete the procedure, if I leave it like this, definitely diplopia will be there. So I anchor it one more time with one more additional pupilloplasty suture. You can see the trailing needle going into the 26 gauge needle. I bring it outside, and the second wire is also brought outside the suture, and you pass 4 throws around the suture and you knock it off. So this is the final end of the procedure. You can see how the pupil is formed round and the IOL is stable at a stable position. The flaps are there. I hydrate the wounds and I put an air bubble to make sure no hypotony is there. Then I release the infusion cannula. After making sure no vitreous at the sclerotomy port, I close the ports with the fibrin glue. You can see the conjunctiva is also being sealed with the fibrin glue, and make sure the eye is tight at the end. So this is the end procedure of the glued IOL.